Hello, friends, and welcome to Pod Return to the Waking Sands. We are a Final Fantasy... Holy shit.
14.
Final Fantasy 14. Companion podcast where we explore the lore and story of Hydaelyn and beyond. My name is I Forget, and I'm joined by my co-host and researcher.
What if it's someone's first episode, Jen? What if they're like,
oh, spoilers.
What's this pod return business? And then they get this shit.
You know, when you recite the intro,
165 times.
165 times. One of these days, you're just gonna not remember.
And today is that day. Well, today we are resuming the main scenario quest. We are playing through the quest into the blue. Today's MSQ is going to be a bit on the interstitial side. We have a bit of legwork to do in Ishgard before we can launch into the next adventure. And frankly, we're both tired from going so hard on Dark Knight, so we're happy for a light-duty episode.
Dark Knight and a Megasode with the Monster Hunter crossover stuff.
With that said, here we go. Jen, what happened last time?
Last time, we raided the vault to save Sir Emmerich and capture the archbishop, and we did one of those things. I'm sorry, am I boring you?
You are, with your slow and incomplete recap.
I'm skirting the emotional minefield. So we
Denial is one solution to grief, yes.
In the course of this mission, we did rescue Sir Emmerich, but we also lost Lord Orchefant and the Archbishop and the Heavensward fled via airship to some place called Azys Lla.
Thank you, Jen.
Yes.
We resume by visiting Sir Emmerich in the Congregation of Our Knights Most Heavenly, and I am bothered a fair amount by the assumptions that lead to this scene. We have just busted Emmerich out of the vault, which involved us and the faction of Temple Knights who are loyal to Emmerich attacking said vault with a joint operation with the revolutionaries in the Broom, the latter of which, I remind us, we had to enlist because the Temple Knights have split loyalties between Emmerich and the Holy See. But after all that, Emmerich just returns to his desk at the congregation with nary a complication. Repercussions from attacking the vault? None.
Nah.
Whereas Hilda, we don't care. We'll send her a thank you card, I guess. The recently condemned heretic commander can just return to business as usual like nothing happened. And what should be happening, Jen, is that we should be meeting up in a safe house in the Broom.
Right.
Arranged by said Hilda.
And Sir Emmerich would be in like a disguise of some kind, not waltzing around in his armor.
Yep, but no. All that said, we are in the congregation and we are meeting with Emmerich and Lucia behind his standard desk.
Well, we're checking in on our friend because he did just undergo a bit of torture in order to extract information and, I don't know, just torture him, I guess. He's doing okay. And Alfino asks, hey, your wounds are healing well, I trust. And Sir Emmerich responds with, some wounds do not heal. And then suddenly, we feel the familiar sensation of the echo forcing our gaze into the past. The scene shows the throne room within the vault, the same room where the Archbishop meets with the Heavensward. And Sir Emmerich is confronting the Archbishop with the truth.
The founding. The scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our own brothers and sisters. For the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it.
The Archbishop recites the history as we've learned it. The betrayal and butchering of Ratatoskr, the theft of Nidhogg's eyes, and the perpetuation of the lie through scripture. And the Archbishop then asks Emmerich this question. I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well? And Sir Emmerich asks, what does he mean by this? And the Archbishop insinuates that there is no penance that would be acceptable. And will Emmerich doom his people to an eternity of atonement? And what will he say to those who have lost loved ones? That their sacrifice was in service of a lie? And Sir Emmerich doesn't have a rebuttal to the Archbishop's points, at least not yet. He didn't go in prepared. He went in guns a-blazing, all emotional and high on righteousness. The futility of offering reparations to an implacable foe justifies the current quote-unquote solution, the Archbishop continues. High-born and low-born Ishgardians will proudly fight and die for their country. But, Emmerich argues, what you have done is doom us all to a lost cause, where we will sentence our countrymen to death over a lie. The Archbishop says, over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well. But do not despair, he tells Emmerich. Soon I will free us from the sins of antiquity and bring about the change you so fervently desire. With a strike of his staff, 2 of the Heavensward are summoned to Emmerich's side, one of them being Zephyrin. Is the other one lip gloss guy?
A lip gloss guy.
Yeah. I mean, it was Zephyrin for sure. The Archbishop commands them to question Emmerich thoroughly, quote unquote, to determine if he's been speaking with anyone else about this. These are high secrets. And with that, well, Sir Emmerich then goes to step forward, and Zephyrin is shing with his sword, nope. So we all know what happens next.
No steppin'. We return to the present. Emmerich realizes that we've had an echo vision, and he's like, well, not the most flattering moment to have revealed in its full detail, but there you have it.
Yeah, he's ashamed because he didn't go in again prepared for to rebut any of the Archbishop's
Sure. I think
arguments.
that this is a relatable embarrassment, Jen, in that
100%.
you go in with your guns ablazing and someone is prepared with these talking points.
Because he's had his entire fucking long-ass Thornton the Seventh life to prepare.
And you're full of spit and vinegar, but not facts.
Right.
So you get shut down, especially by a father figure.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Actual father and father figure, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, those things can be mutually exclusive. I think they kind of are in this case. Because Sir Emmerich became pretty awesome dude despite his father.
No, his father does not do any parenting whatsoever.
Right. So, in an attempt to, well, maybe not an attempt. I mean, this would comfort me quite a bit. Alfino is well, I mean, you may think that what the Archbishop was saying were arguments, but really it's more self-serving delusion. Hear. But what about those comments he made about this big change? So during the battle in the vault, we witnessed the Heavensward demonstrate supernatural abilities.
Yep.
Just as the Knights 12 were depicted in scripture.
During the battle within the vault, the Heavensward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Haurchefant was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
The spectacle called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture, holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have become objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls. 7 hells!
7 hells!
If Lady Iceheart can use her own body as a vessel for summoning, I see no reason why others could not.
7 hells! We should plug in Merle Vibs. 7 hells! Master Garland? Put that in there. 7 hells! So the realization hits Alfino. The Archbishop and the Heavensward are preparing for a summoning.
Not just a summoning, but to bring a primal onto themselves.
Yes, using their bodies as vessels, just like Lady Iceheart did. So, before he fled, the Archbishop mentioned Azys Lla, and while Alfino and Emmerich, nobody knows what he intends to do there, it's nothing good. So we need to find him and stop him, whatever it is that he's doing.
And Emmerich hereby entreats the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Officially.
Which I found to be very funny because we're right here.
We're already...
There's 2 of us in the field team.
We may as well be getting a paycheck at this point.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep on helping you.
We'll keep on doing it. That stuff we've been doing? Yeah, sure. So, I mean, not just to stop him from what he's, whatever it is that he's going to do, but to bring him to justice. No more blood will be spilled for the lie. And Lucia asks to join the Scions on our mission, and the 3 of us go to speak outside, leaving Emmerich to his administrative duties. With the Archbishop gone and everything that just happened, government's in a bit of a mess.
I don't know what to make of this exactly. There is a lot that is implied here by this statement, which does not quite square with us having just gone from the vault to here if we are on the MSQ track. There's not really a time passes type interlude.
Right.
We leave Fortemps Manor and hang out with Alfino and say, let's go check on Emmerich, and here we are.
Yeah, like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, it does not feel like what they imply has happened here. I guarantee that Archbishop Thornton has gone to Azys Lla before, in secret probably, but it did not throw the government into chaos then. I wouldn't even say work is being done behind the scenes, because the whole of what we can imagine is happening in Ishgard is summed up in this kind of throwaway comment about Emmerich needing to stay here to deal with this situation.
Honestly, there should be rioting in the streets, total fucking chaos. The Archbishop is gone. The Heavensward are gone. Heretics and such, Hilda and her crew are running around.
But no, actually, because in reverse order, Hilda and her crew, their job was to make a diversion outside the city to draw the Temple Knights away from the vault. So they're not shooting up the broom or whatever. They are.
No, the broom is there. They would never do that regardless.
No, but
yeah, you're right. They're not even here.
The whole chaos that is implied was spurred by the Archbishop and the Heavensward hopping on an airship 20 minutes ago and disappearing. There was no declaration of the sea is empty.
So that's the thing. It's either, it's been 20 minutes and nobody is really that much the wiser about what has just happened. Though, half the Temple Knights should be, rioting.
Yes.
As far as, we don't listen to Sir Emmerich. Sir Emmerich is a heretic. And so that, there would be, mutiny.
Yes.
And that alone would be enough to just fuck everything up. Beyond Sir Emmerich going, nobody's making sure the ledger is balanced.
Yeah, there
right
is
now.
a whole missing chapter of Ishgard drama in here.
If it's been a week, okay. Then the fact the government's kind of I don't know what to do, then okay. But there still should be total upheaval. Total fucking upheaval.
Yeah.
Just in the Temple Knights, within the ranks of the Temple Knights. But no, he's just in his office. Everybody's... Firm Albert is still hanging out outside. Everything's cool. Sir Handaloop is fine. Lucia... it's
Yeah, Sir Handaloop is doing expeditions into the churning mists.
Right.
More on that later.
So, he's on Sir Emmerich's side. Just,
He's on the side of science.
Right. He's on the side of truth.
So not to belabor the point further, but this whole section really kind of rings against itself. And it's very odd how much they're glossing over the political turmoil that is implied here by Sir Emmerich, but never actually experienced, neither in terms of time passing or actual events in the city.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. That's all.
All right, so Emmerich going to stay behind and convince everyone to work together during these events. And he's also going to push the story of the true history of Ishgard. Meanwhile, we are going to go to the Sea of Clouds, and we're going to pursue the path of the airship that
Soleil.
Archbishop Thornton was on. We know that the Sea of Clouds is our next step because what's it called? The Rose House.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Lady Laniette of the Rose House has sent word back that the Archbishop's ship was seen flying past there.
Yeah, and their scouts saw it, and then it headed northward towards the Blue Window, and then they lost sight of it completely after that. So we can surmise that Azys Lla is somewhere beyond the Blue Window. The area that we need to get into is controlled totally by the Vanu Vanu. And when we first visited Camp Cloudtop, we learned that some of their diplomatic inroads were at first successful. Something happened where the Vanu Vanu were just like, we're canceling everything, get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
So they do not have a foothold of any kind in this upper area in the Sea of Clouds. What we need is an airship and a guy with some moxie.
So
do we know anybody like that?
We head for Sid at the Sky Steel Manufactory. We get him caught up. He's like, I'm in, you bastards. And we prepare to head out to the northern portion of the Sea of Clouds. And we'll leave off there with the MSQ.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah. Though some funny exchanges with Sid when we go back and we're like, hey man, he's like, hey, what kind of mischief have you been getting up to? And because everything happened so recently, he has no idea. So we fill him in. And Elfino asks him, have you ever heard of Azys Lla? And Sid says, no, but it's probably some source of phenomenal cosmic power that's key to his plan. And we know that the Asians have tempted Thornton like they did Gaius with the ultimate weapon. So even if Thornton is stringing them along, like he said before, there's little doubt he won't seize upon whatever this power is. So Sid's like, say less. You got it. Enterprise is yours. And then before he walks out, he goes, it's just as well. After pulling you out of the fire these last few times, I reckon I was due to deliver you into it. Yeah, that's why we're friends.
Well, after those fun back and forths, we once again prepare to set out for the Sea of Clouds. We now leave the MSQ behind for today and jump over to a side quest roundup.
Side quest roundup! 2 gold doubloons!
What?
You don't remember 2 gold doubloons from SpongeBob?
No.
Aw.
I haven't seen it.
You watch a show once
I haven't
and you know
seen
all the
This
jokes.
is your gripe with me, Jen. I have not boasted of this. You're just mad at me for calling stuff that you had to hammer into your...
You make, I think you should leave references all the time, and I don't get what you're saying. I'm giving you literal SpongeBob gold, and it's doing nothing for you.
That's right.
And that's a bummer.
And rather than give me any context clues, you'll just lord it over my head that you have this secret knowledge.
I think it was the episode where they play the board game, the search for the Flying Dutchman's treasure or whatever. And Mr. Krabs gets super into it. And they follow him they think it's a real treasure map, right? Then they realize that, or Mr. Krabs is like, I found a real treasure map, guys. And they're like, yay, treasure hunter. And Mr. Krabs is super secretive about this map. And they finally, when Mr. Krabs is sleeping, go into his tent and they're like, we're going to look at the map. And they go, and they realize that it's the board game. And they realize Mr. Krabs has lost his mind. But then they actually find a treasure. And the Flying Dutchman comes in. He's like, thanks for finding my treasure, guys. You saved me a lot of work. And he gives SpongeBob and Patrick 2 gold doubloons. But nothing for Mr. Krabs because he's greedy.
That is vaguely familiar. I don't recall the doubloons song, though. So anyway, moving on. Side quest roundup.
We need a special little side quest roundup. Side quest roundup. Side quest roundup. Side quest roundup. Boo!
That's it.
All right.
Like I griped about last episode,
Sorry.
an excess of side quests have appeared in areas that were previously cleared out. The devs have decreed that there will not be a square inch of Heavensward that is not trod upon in the course of doing side quests.
It's how I clear out the map. basically. Like, I have no reason to go here except to do this quest.
The bulk of this crop appears in the churning mists, including more of the palm guard.
Yay!
We resume their tale with Moglu, the oversized Moogle in Mogholm.
Maglu! He's like the head of the palm guard.
Yeah.
He's like a medium-sized Moogle. He's not a large Moogle like Moglin.
Moglin
medium.
is a gigantic Moogle.
Yeah, Moglin's gigantic. Moglu is medium, and everybody else is small.
I think that the standard Moogle is medium, and there are teeny Moogles also that are small.
Where are the teeny Moogles? What?
They're around. Open your eyes, Jen.
No.
Yes.
I'm still saying he's medium.
And you're wrong, but carry on.
Whatever. We can have small and extra small.
Great. Carry on, please, Jen.
So Moglu says the palm guard, they're doing their best, but their best isn't enough right now against the riled minions of Nidhogg, and he asks for our help. So we go to Asa and meet up with Mogkul, sure. And we find him surrounded by 2 dead dragons, impressive, and a live 3rd dragon ready to eat him up. So we kill the dragon, and Mogkul is like, yay, thanks. And so we go chat, and he says that the Nidhogg's minions, they don't obey the covenant between Hraesvelgr and the Moogles, the latter being charged with Zenith's upkeep. And Hraesvelgr considers the structures built by the landlords to be sacred. So they have this kind of, symbiotic relationship going on. Hraesvelgr protects the Moogles keep Zenith from falling apart as best they can. But now we've got Nidhogg's minions getting all up in our junk.
Seems more like they're protecting him, Jen.
Oh, I mean,
seems like a raw deal for the Moogles.
They're actually, the fact that one little guy, like we said, small guy, killed 2 of these dragons.
You said that, but go on.
Yeah, killed 2 of these dragons all by himself. And he only got overwhelmed when a 3rd one entered the chat. It's pretty good.
They ain't the palm guard for nothing.
Right, exactly. So, they're doing well. So the next step in this little quest line, we have just some more fuckery with the dragons. We have a couple more Moogles getting involved. We have Moglio, of course. We have Magok and Maga. Magok! And so the 4 of them are kind of handling the shit around Zenith right now and trying to stay above water with regards to keeping the dragons out. I mean, they're getting way too close to Zenith. They don't ever come this far into the region. Well, we're having like a little, there's the 3 of us, I think, the 4 of us. Moglio isn't there. Mogkul was like, where's Moglio? He's missing from roll call. So we go and we try to find Moglio. We find him, and he's struggling to maintain consciousness, prone on a piece of rubble. And he's like, the dragon attacked me. Tell the others it's not safe. Ugh. He's fine. So we go to the others like, hey, the shit's a lot spicier than you thought. And you just prepare, I guess. I don't know. We can't bail. And then Mogkul, he goes and he runs to take care of Moglio. And then I need to go find Magok and Maga, because they're also on patrol in this area to let them know, like, be super, super on your guard. You're on normal guard right now. Be on super guard. Palm guard. Yeah. And so we find Magok first. So there's like just extending off of the main platform at Zenith. There are like these round platforms and these little bridges that connect them over space. So they are stationed at the entrance of both of these bridges. And Magok is like, oh, everything's great over here. No issues. Though there was like some big thing that walked by me earlier. Maybe that was it. And then he's like, how about, brainwave, how about I stand in front of the bridge and watch out while you go across the bridge and deal with any dragons that might have snuck in. So we do that. There's like 3 dudes out there. We're like, chop, chop, chop. And we go back and we're like, you're good to go. And then the next quest, same thing, but with Maga on the other bridge. She watches out while we go kill the dragons. And then we all convene, except for Moglio. He's still on the mend. We're not putting him into active duty anymore for the time being. So, yeah, the 3 intrepid Mughals, sans Moglio, we all head to Zenith's spire. So the dragons we've been fighting, they've been inside Zenith, but they haven't been attacking the structure like we assumed that they were doing. They're like, they want to destroy this symbol of friendship. But no, I mean, they do, but they want to destroy the most important part of this symbolic friendship structure, the Tower of Friendship. So they want to destroy the spire, which is like way the fuck up there. And this is where we get a little bit more. It's not anything we don't know, but Mogkol is like, so long ago, the Sky Lords and the Land Lords lived together and built Zenith as a symbol of their friendship. That's why the dragons are after the best bit, the creamy filling. So Mogkol, Magok, and Maga go up to the spire to stand palm guard. And we head up there. By the time we get up there, they're all laid out flat on the ground. They're donezo. They're fine, but they're donezo. And we are faced with an ancient vivre. And it speaks dragon tongue to us, saying, death to all mankind, etc., etc. So we fight it, beat it, and after the 3 Mughals are like, yay, you did it. And they all reaffirm their commitment to honoring the covenant. The decay of the landlord's structures it's accelerating because it's been 1,000 years. As much as they try, they cannot keep up with like all of the crumbling brick and the stonework that's falling down. They don't have the skill set. And there's only so many of them. Anyway. But they're still they're going to do what they can do because they're the last person or the last people to betray Hraesvelgr. They understand that Hraesvelgr has already experienced the biggest betrayal ever. So they're going to keep doing what they do. And that's that.
And we go back to Maglu.
Yeah. And we're like, hey, they did a great job.
It's Moglu, obviously, because Mog. But anyway, so yeah.
Maglu!
Moglu says, great jobs all around. Would that we could do more. Had we but the knowledge, we would restore Zenith to its former glory. But my Mughals have performed their duty most admirably, and they shall be rewarded with Kupo nuts.
Kupo nuts!
Also, yeah. Jen, you were on a roll. I did not want to interrupt you with my bullshit, but I think that the tower is more like the asparagus head than the creamy filling.
Yeah, but if you eat my metaphor, your pee doesn't smell. Well, it still does, but it doesn't smell like asparagus pee.
You're true. You're right. That is true.
Is true.
You is true.
All right.
But wait, Jen, there is more. There is one more side quest chain, and believe it or not, this is tied to the prior side quest group with the Palm Guard. This is all going somewhere. So back in Ishgard, seemingly unrelated, there's now a quest up near House Fortam, and it's one of the guards that's sticking around pretty much, and they say, hey, you should go and join this expedition. So we head down to the Congregation of Our Knights Most Heavenly. We meet up with a squad of peeps that are being led by, or rather being managed by Sir Handaloop. And the leader of this squad is a dragoon, Mayan. She is leading a whole squad of dragoons on this endeavor, and she is nervous but excited. They head out to the airship, asking us to join. And Jen, before we get going, this is a very time-consuming leg of the side quest that has nothing of note going on in the middle.
Bro.
It's got a mild beginning, it's got a hot end, but the middle is pure, blatant, time-wasty bullshit.
Oh my god. I'm like, this is, after coming off of Dark Knight, I'm like, I can feel the darkness within me right now. This is the most egregious of the Gopher delivery Warrior of Light requests. Oh my god.
Absolutely, yes.
It's so insulting.
Should have done Dark Knight Part 2 after this. That's for sure.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right, so we have to press on, though, because at the end of this beige quest chain, the yellow quest, gold quest, people have different names for them. Either way, for some reason, all of these quests lead to a blue quest unlock at the back end, which is breaking protocol, but we're doing it. We meet up with Mayan in the Churning Mists. Their airship is docked at this Colosseum-type structure in the northern part of the Churning Mist area.
It's called the Rookery.
She's worried that there are dragons about, so we go and kill them.
Yeah, no shit.
And Jen, we have to kill 3 Diresaurs. I hope you like Diresaurs, Jen, because
that's all we're getting.
There's a lot of them. Diresaurs are the swole-ass dragons with no wings. They're the ones that we fight at the final boss of Stone Vigil Hard. We are going to fight so many fucking Diresaurs.
Yep.
After we kill them, she wants us to go and check on her scouting parties. So we proceed to fly all around the northern part of the zone. There are 3 scouting parties in all, I think, and each one has us do the exact same bullshit, which is kill some Diresaurs, go check some aetherometers, and then go to the next scouting party and repeat.
Do this, same shit.
We spend easily half an hour just doing the exact same quest step over and over and over again because they're just, at this point in time, milking our time for all it's worth. Nobody likes this. Nobody's enjoying this process. So after doing many aetherometer checks and many Diresaur kills, we return to Mayan, and it's now about time to be heading out. But wait, there's a scary dragon at the bottom of the tower. Jen, what kind of dragon is it?
It's a Diresaur.
Yes. So we kill yet another Diresaur and check it back with Mayan, and she says, okay, time to go. Would you go and collect these aetherometers and go get this scouting report? So we leave the little base camp again. We get the report, we head back to Mayan, and finally we're done with this bullshit.
Yeah, it's like the first round is killing the mobs so that they can safely set up the aetherometers.
Yes.
Then it's going around and collecting the aetherometers for them. There's 2 different scouts in 2 different locations. Each of them are in charge of 3 aetherometers. They're not like super close together. It's kind of annoying. And then once we collect all the aetherometers, so now we're loaded up with 6 fucking aetherometers. It's like carrying 6 microscopes around. These things are heavy. We deliver them back to Mayan, and then she tells us to put them in a crate. Oh, thanks for the aetherometers. Put them in a crate. What?
I just said all this shit.
I know. I'm saying it again because that's how tedious this is. Really driving it home. Because it was like, kill dudes so we can set them up. They're set up. Now we need to go and collect them because it's too dangerous to collect them. They lost their report to a Diresaur. One of them was like, snatched. And we have to go kill a bunch until we find the thing in its stomach or whatever.
I was trying to spare us all of this tedium, but
no,
thank you for...
No. Share. Misery loves company. Though I do want to say, I never really paid too much attention, really kind of about any of the structures. I'm like, yeah, it's ruins. Zenith is fucking cool, obviously. But the Rookery is a true, like, interesting relic of the past. You can see what its utility was. And the Rookery was used as basically like a transit hub. And it looks like a coliseum. You know, it's surrounded, it's radial orientated vomitoriums where everybody riding in to the Churning Mists on dragonback. So there's all these, like runways, little, like airship ports, but they're for dragons and for people to like fly in and get jumped off, and then they can all, go about their business. And that was really cool. And that actually made me kind of sad. You see Zenith and it's gorgeous. And you see the mother of Sheev, that statue, which is also beautiful. But there's something about you seeing this structure that at one point probably had just dozens and dozens of people every day coming in and out, handling trade, handling relationships, dragon and man, operating peacefully and yeah. I just wanted to mention that. And there was as I was flying around the area, I found a sightseeing log spot, a vista, and it was for the Rookery, and that's where I got some of the background information. I'm like, oh shit. So then I was flying around looking at basically the shape of the structure and how it made sense for what it was used for. That's all.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
I appreciate all that.
You're welcome.
The reason that we're doing all of this side questy stuff here is not for
fun,
the aetherometer checking action we get, but
also,
it is...
why are dragoons doing all this?
Presumably it's because of all the dragons here, but they ain't fighting dragons either. So.
Right. So what it should have been were
Moogles.
maybe some no dragoons and scientists.
Yeah, you're right, Jen. My joke is that the Moogles do the same shit where they foist their duties out upon us because they don't want to do them themselves.
Yeah, that's hard.
But the dragoons are pulling the same shit as Moogles.
Like, they didn't even bring enough people to courier this stuff between Sky Islands.
But anyway, so we're doing all this, though, because at the end, we report back to Sir Handaloop. And, the kind of final plot beat of the whole quest line is that when we go kill the super scary dragon / normal Dinosaur for Mayan, the Dinosaur that we kill had a scrap of armor embedded in its scales or something.
In its armpit, actually.
Armpit scales.
An ancient, of all the places it could be. But it makes sense. It's an armpit. That's probably why it had been stuck to his skin for so long. But this is a piece of mail that when Man looks at it, she can tell immediately that it's very, very old. Centuries old. It was definitely forged in Ishgard, she can also tell. So that leads us to the conclusion that this Dinosaur, the Rookery Master, actually, was a heretic in a previous life. And at some point they drank dragon blood and transformed. And so some of their clothes just stayed stuck to their dragon body.
Mm-hmm. But when we report back to Sir Handaloop, he is kind of fixated on this dragon and the scrap of armor. He's saying to think that mankind and dragons once coexisted, yet now we are at war. Curious.
Big, if true.
It is much too early to say if the news of our once peaceful past should be given credence, but it would be foolish to reject it outright.
Good man.
The best course of action would be to become more familiar with the history of the churning mists. It is only through more knowledge that we can decide our next step. Well, the Moogles are a bit more palatable than the dragons, so perhaps they can assist the Ishgardians with making inroads. Our character goes to arrange a meeting between the Moogles and Sir Handaloop. We rendezvous out in the churning mists again. He's so grateful to them for sharing their time and knowledge of this place. How can he ever repay them? They do have something in mind, and it's not Kupo nuts.
Which is crazy.
Our hero, Moglio, says, "You Ishgardians live in a stonework city, yes? We've long yearned to learn how to repair stone structures. If we did, we could repair Zenith with our own paws. Us Moogles have a sacred agreement with the great worm Hraesvelgr that binds us to protect the holy tower. But after 1,000 years, time has worn its luster. Zenith is beloved by Hraesvelgr and stands as a symbol to the friendship between the landlords and skylords. If we could restore its former glory, maybe the bond between your two races would be revitalized as well. We are in, but there's just one issue. Having Ishgardians all up in Zenith might be a little bit too much for Hraesvelgr right now. But maybe the Ishgardians could teach the Moogles how to work stone so they could handle the job themselves. It may start with repairing just a single brick, but if they keep at it, soon Zenith will sparkle as it hasn't in a millennium. Kupo." With that, a plan is set into motion, and we will check back on them later. But for now, we are done for the day, and we're off to the Sea of Clouds.
Sea of Clouds.
Any final comments, Jen?
Nah.
Same.
I said all my stuff.
I also said all my stuff.
Nice.
Then we'll see you next time for some more MSQ.
Woo!
Kupo.
And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And be sure to check out Nirvana's new hit single, Smells Like Heretic Spirit. If you want to get in touch with us, you can at podreturnffxiv@gmail.com. We are on Blue Sky at podreturnffxiv. You can check the show notes for our Discord. You can join up and share some photos of stuff, chat with people. Everybody's super fun and awesome, and we would love to have you. Also in the show notes is a link to the t-shirt, the podcast t-shirt via TeePublic. Levi did the graphic, and it's Major General focused. Of course it is, because he's our mascot. So I don't know if you want to share.
Unofficial mascot.
Yeah,
we
unofficially,
don't own him.
officially. So yeah, if you want to, I don't know, tote bag or a shirt or whatever, head over there. And last but not least, our Patreon, patreon.com/podreturnffxiv, for all the other stuff that we do. If you want additional content, we have it for you. We have the seasonal events from 14, some of the other peripheral activities like Magic the Gathering, the tabletop RPG, recently the Monster Hunter crossover event, all of that's in there for $1. And then for $2, you get access to our bonus series. This season we are doing Final Fantasy VI, and we also have the archive of our Final Fantasy XI series there as well. So give it a listen. And with that, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good day or night, and we will see you next time.